Hello, so we are going to draft and sew this pretty dress here. We are going to start off with making some alterations to the front body's pattern that we do in our previous video. Okay, so I have here the pattern here. I'm going to extend the shoulder line down to the waistline this way, and I'm also going to extend the line from the tip of the neckline to the shoulder. I'll do this by measuring the shoulder line first. I have 1.5. I'm going to bring it down to the waist and then mark it and connect this with a straight line. So afterwards, I'm going to further divide this into two. The next I'm going to do is to measure. Take this measurement from the top to the waist. I have about 8 inches here. I'll take note of that. I will need it later on to make the ruffles. The next I'm going to do is to cut out my pattern, and now I'll have to cut this line that we have here. That is where we are going to stitch our ruffle, so I'm going to cut it out nicely and split the front into two. So this is my front, which I'm going to cut on fold, and this is my side front, which I'm going to cut 2 pieces, and then I have my back pattern, which I'm going to also cut on fold. So the next I'm going to do is to draft this ruffle, and remember the mark we had in our front, we had 8 inches. I'm going to go with a width of 2 inches, add ½ inch allowance to the top, and then the length of this ruffle is 3 times the measurement we had on our front body, so that's 8. So I'm going to multiply this by 3 and then mark it. After drafting this, I'm going to go ahead and then cut out the pattern. So these are my pattern pieces that I'm going to be using for this beautiful dress. Remember, I'm going to be cutting 2 pieces of this and forming my ruffles with it. So this is the fabric I'll be using to sew this beautiful dress. I have about 1.5 yards of fabric. So I'm going to go ahead and then lay my pattern pieces on the wrong side of this fabric and then cut it out. So after cutting it out, this is what I have here, looking so beautiful. I added ½ inch seam allowances all around, except for the side front that I added 1 inch, and then the side back I added 1 inch as well. Every other side has ½ inch seam allowances. Remember, my center front is on fold, my center back is on fold as well. These are my 2 pieces of fabric that I'm going to be using for the ruffles. The first thing I'm going to do to start this dress is to take these pieces and then gather them at the top. Before I gather, I'm going to stitch one side down by 1/4 inch all round, and then stitch the sides as well down, and then go ahead and then gather at the top. So this is it here. I have formed the ruffles, and then I pinned one of the ruffles to the left side of this pattern. This is it, looking so pretty already, and I'm going to do the other side, the right side of this, by pinning the ruffles on the center front and the side front together. So I'm going ahead to pin it down. After pinning, I'll head to my sewing machine and stitch this down on ½ inch on both sides. So I've gone ahead to stitch it down on ½ inch. This is what we have. The dress is looking beautiful already, and then I went ahead to also attach the back pattern to the front pattern and pinned it down. So I'm going to stitch the shoulders together on 0.5 inches, both of them. I went ahead to also cut the back pattern by about 3 inches down. I added a small loop that is going to hold my button in place. I cut it down and added the facing to the back, which I'm going to stitch down. So I'm going to head to the sewing machine. I'm going to stitch it all down. So after stitching it down, this is what I have here. I have stitched the back down, the shoulder is also stitched down on ½ inch. The next I'm going to do is to come in with a bias tip, and then I'm going to hem the armhole and then the neckline with a bias tip. So after stitching it down, this is our pattern. I have stitched the neck, I have done the armhole. This is how the back pattern, the inside of the pattern looks like, so neat and beautiful. The next I'm going to do is to set this aside, and then we'll start working on the skirt. So I have 2 pieces of fabric here that I've gone ahead to cut, and then this is about 15 inches long, and then in the width is 3 times the waist we are working with. And I'm going to head to the sewing machine and then gather the waist. This is the gathers. I have formed it nicely. I'm going to now attach this skirt to the top of this dress. So I'm going to go to the sewing machine and stitch it down on 1/2 inch. So this is what we have after stitching the skirt to the top of this dress. Looking so gorgeous, looking so beautiful. The next I'm going to do is to stitch the sides of this dress down together on 1/2 inch from the armhole to the hem of this dress. Afterwards, I'm also going to use a bias tape to hem the skirt of this dress. So this is it here, and this is how our dress looks like. We are done with this dress. It's looking so pretty, so beautiful. I hope this tutorial was helpful and you give it a try. And don't forget to subscribe, like, comment and share this video, and we'll see you in our next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.